Make better money choices. Choose a bank that takes your money seriously. Business Watch is brought to you by Nedbank.
All right, it's just a minute after 2 p.m. Central African Time, the 14th day of the month of love. It is lovely to be in your company. It is, the second episode of Business Watch powered by Nedbank Eswatini, and we sure have some business for you to watch over the next hour. Our first focus will be news from the Eswatini Public Procurement Regulatory Agency, which says it is seeing improvement in local companies taking part in procurement. Our second story, we hear from Business Eswatini's Inati Dlamini on how the National Trade Facilitation Committee will ensure efforts towards making Eswatini a commercial hub. Good afternoon, I'm Sifiso Ngumalo.
We will also connect with the National Marketing and Agricultural Board Chief Executive Officer Begizo Mazia, who will react to the speech from the throne as well as update us on other developments that NAM board is driving. We will then hear from the Eswatini Revenue Service Commissioner General, who will update us on the bilateral committee between officials from Eswatini and South Africa, which is looking into border issues, including reducing congestion in our border gates. We will also develop that conversation with our in-house business journalist Nelsiwe Ntlangama. In our last segment will be the market analysis with Bongani Mabuza, who is Nedbank's head of treasury. For now, let's look at business news. My name is Lungilele Makakula.
All right, it's 2 minutes after 2 p.m. We will look at our first story. The National Trade Facilitation Committee says all efforts will be directed towards ensuring that Eswatini is a commercial hub, as directed by His Majesty King Mswati III when opening Parliament last Friday. The committee's member Inati Dlamini says they will have a conference where different stakeholders will be engaged on His Majesty's directive, even as the business community.
Contained everything that concerns businesses, from infrastructure to ICT to issues of trade. And in particular, we're really pleased that His Majesty came out and expressed the issue of trade as critical. And indeed, we're saying as a commercial community, trade is the lifeblood of this economy, and we need to get good at it. His Majesty mentioned the National Trade Facilitation Committee. As a business community, we believe it behooves us to support His Majesty's vision because our collective sentiments are aligned to his vision of building this economy and creating the wealth that this country needs, and especially in creating the jobs that we desperately need. We need investment, and indeed, as a private sector, government cannot create jobs. It's only the private sector can do that. And we will be holding a conference to try to encourage companies to grow and expand, because if they do that, they will be actually employing more people. First of all, there is a good collaborative arrangement between the private sector and government. And I think there's room for improvement in that. Our job is to make sure that we improve on that going forward, to collaborate better and more effectively, because we play for the same team, that we are well aware. We play for the same team, and I think we just need to heighten our efforts in that regard.
There is an improvement in local companies taking part in procurement. This has been said by Eswatini Public Procurement Regulatory Agency's auditor, Mcebo Msibi, when explaining what the agency is doing to ensure transparency and fair competition for all businesses, including small and medium enterprises in the procurement space.
The issue of transparency, or the principle of transparency, is enshrined in the Public Procurement Act of 2011, together with the issue of fairness and non-discrimination. And when you look at Section 42 of the Act, it states that the most preferred procurement method shall be open tender. And what do we mean by open tender? We mean that the advert should be publicized, and all and sundry, everyone who is capable and who is interested can then come and issue their tender documents. And then after that, the process is then clear to everyone. There are no shady areas with the open tendering method. What the agency does is that the suppliers will then submit their tender documents. I mean to say the procuring entities will submit their tender documents with the agency, and then the agency will review the tender documents, do those compliance checks, and then we are going to publicize these tender documents on our website so that tenders can be able to access these tender documents. ESPPRA is the regulator of the public procurement, but most of the procurements, or all the procurements, happen at the respective entities. What we do as the agency is that we have to regulate those procurements. And then the issue of SMMEs is provided for in the Public Procurement Act. The Act says there should be measures to give opportunities to Swati companies and to local companies. What we do as the agency now, that what we've done is to try and urge procuring entities to be deliberative in this issue and include in their procurement policies, include a clause about set-asides. When we talk about set-asides, we are saying we should have particular procurements, maybe portioned for the youth, maybe a certain procurement for women, maybe for people living with disabilities, and also including the SMMEs. And we are saying procuring entities should be deliberate on this issue and state that so much percentage of this nature of procurement to this magnitude will be set aside to the youth. But this should be clearly outlined in the procurement policy so that even procuring officers should know how to go about in having those procurements put in place for the small and micro businesses. There is an improvement in local businesses partaking in public procurement. There is a huge improvement in that area. Recently, we've been looking, I would say, even these small contractors, they are now able to put together a very competitive tender document, and they are able now to be awarded contracts.
That's it for our news. It's 8 minutes after 2. Let's take a break. When we resume, we connect with NAM Board CEO Bhekizwa Mazia.
Residents of Simunye and surrounding areas are notified that intense TV license door-to-door inspections are being conducted in the region. The exercise starts on the 19th to the 28th of February 2024. Stay alert. Our TV license inspectors will be wearing Eswatini TV gear and will have tags that confirm their identity. Don't be scammed. Our inspectors do not ask for cash payments. Pay your TV license only at specified pay points or call us on 34050163 or 78024545 for more information. Alternatively, you can send a WhatsApp message to 76222000 and we'll chat with you. Pay your TV license today, enhance the industry.
Digital helps you make cross-border payments. Human gives you global specialists. Digital allows you to apply for a loan anytime, anywhere. Human connects you to credit experts. Digital puts you in control of your money, while Human connects you to wealth advisors. Digital allows you to freeze, unfreeze, cancel, and reorder your card. Human gives you that personal touch. Digital when you want it. Human when you need it. Get the complete private banking experience. with Nedbank Private Clients.
Renewal of TV licenses for 2024 is now open. Here is a quick reminder. A viewer's TV license costs 180 emalangeni per device. Other accessories such as decoders and set-top box cost 50 emalangeni per device. For traders and repairers, TV license costs 300 emalangeni per business area. And now, to pay your TV license, use these following methods. You can use MTN Mobile Money with the number 762222000 or dial *007 *3 *7 hash. Or you can use Eswatini Imali. You can pay our TV license at any post office in the country. Another option is you can use any Nedbank branch using our TV license account number 119900430037. Don't forget, when paying for your viewer's TV license, reference with your PIN at all times. And when paying for a retailer TV license, reference with your TIN at all times. For more information, call us on 7802-4543 or 34050163 or 34020879. And you can send us a WhatsApp message on 762222000.
When you choose your adventures, you do so with an open heart and a desire for the unexpected. You embark on journeys to discover new worlds full of wonder. You choose a path to awaken your senses, a world to make you look up and realize just how inspiring this life can be. Arrive and awaken your heart. Explore life in ways only thought possible in your dreams. Discover just how far you go to expand your understanding of life's greatest mysteries. There's just one place on this planet with so much to offer. Now is the time for you to have the royal experience in the kingdom.
I want to apologize that we are not connecting with Namboard CEO Bhekizizwe Mazia at this rightful time, but we will connect with him later on the program. For now, we'll continue with the show. A bilateral committee consisting of officials from Eswatini as well as South Africa, which will look into border issues, including reducing congestion in the two countries, will be established really soon to sort out border issues. The Commissioner General of the Eswatini Revenue Service, Brighton Gambule, shared this when detailing the resolutions from the bilateral border coordination workshop with different stakeholders from both countries, as well as the World Bank, which was held at the ERS headquarters on Monday and Tuesday this week.
We had the National Trade Facilitation Committee of Eswatini, together with the Border Management Agency of South Africa, the South African Revenue Service, and the World Bank. Now, these are all the stakeholders that are involved in the border activities on both countries. This was a session that was facilitated by the World Bank. I can report that the engagement was extremely successful. The resolutions will address the challenge or the concern that was raised, the work that we were given by His Majesty on Friday. It will attend the blockades within months, because together between the entities from Eswatini and the entities in South Africa, we agreed on activities that we need to do. The immediate one was separation of commercial traffic from the non-commercial, so that there will be a very easy flow of the commercial traffic. The other extremely important achievement was the setting up of the bilateral steering committee. Now, this is a committee that will be made up of the entities from Eswatini and South Africa, and we agreed that we were to meet on once in 2 months to follow up on all the resolutions that we took there. The first one, very high level, the establishment of the bilateral steering committee. The bilateral committee will be there to supervise the implementation of the action plan. Now, what are the action plans? Okay. First and foremost, to ease the movement of commercial traffic, we agreed that we were going to first collocate customs and immigration on either side of the border, so that the truckers do not have to park their trucks, walk into customs and then walk into tax. We'll be collocating the customs and Home Affairs on a separate building. If you'd visualize Ngwenya, as you come into Ngwenya, on your left you've got a building that was meant to accommodate commercial traffic, and we've got 3 lanes there. So we agreed that the commercial traffic would divert into that building, and in that building we will have Home Affairs and Customs, so that travelers will use the building as you know it, the one that's on the right. So that way the commercial traffic or drivers will spend minimal time at the border.
Yeah, really interesting developments there by the ERS Commissioner General Brighton Nkambule. Let's welcome Nelsiwe Ndlakamandla, our in-house business journalist. Welcome, Nelsiwe. Everything that Mr. Nkambule is saying excites me, because I have a lot of friends that are in business and I'm looking to get into business myself, and I'm seeing how I'm going to benefit from all these developments. I mean, yesterday we saw the Home Affairs Minister, Her Honorable Princess Lindy. We're also acknowledging these bilateral relations with South Africa. Firstly, maybe let's start with, how important this is regarding strengthening ties between Eswatini and South Africa.
Siyabonga kakhulu Sifiso. Na ungakhumbula kahle iWorld Bank yachaza kahle ukuthi South Africa is Eswatini's main trading partner, lapho khona ithi thine si exporter lokungangabo 65% bese si importer 75%. So uma ngabe tinhlangano letahlukene tihlangana to make the trading easier, kwekuthi emaborder kuhambe kahle kube lula. So this is a great opportunity for both countries ukuthi ti trade malula kukhule neminotfo yalamave lamabili.
Quite interesting, highlighting kukhula kweminotfo. We just came back from the speech from the throne. His Majesty the King on Friday delivered that to the Eswatini nation as well as the whole world. What was interesting there, him highlighting that Eswatini, with concern by the way, highlighting with concern that we don't export as much as we should. Now we have these developments that are happening right after the speech from the throne. One ought to react to that. How does this fit into our ambitions as the nations, as pronounced by His Majesty the King on Friday?
I think this is a very important development, since we know ukuthi the business community asengibekise nga business Eswatini employs over 100,000 tax-paying individuals, the companies under Business Eswatini, and it contributes 90% of the private sector GDP. And most of the trucks la khanza ukuthi seka stack lapha sekemile lapha ma truck lo khanza ukuthi lamanye ahambisa impahla lamanye aletha yona impahla eveni. So info lenjengalena iba mgcokwa kakhulu ngoba sitawubuka nje ukuthi i Ministry of Commerce ithi from February last year to April tinkampani letivulile nje even ting 2615 you can tell ukuthi eMaswati sekayangena la ebhizinisini. So such developments are very, very important.
Yeah, and speaking on the Ministry of Commerce, they've also announced that we're officially trading under the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. It's quite interesting what is going to happen now that, we are under that block. What does this mean then for, our business people in the country, from, as little as SMEs to the biggest of companies?
I think this is a great opportunity because uyakhumbula Sifiso ukuthi last year SACU with ERS ulonjele authorized economic operator wena ungusomabhizinisi nje loseka trader kakhulu losekatiwako so tawuvele uproduce utothola this VIP treatment at border when you have registered. This means that you won't have to stand in queues lapha e-border umele ukuthi ungene uto register. So if tinhlangothi letahlukene South Africa Eswatini, the Border Management Authority of South Africa was here, SARS was here yesterday, the World Bank ingenile yafisa kubuka ukuthi engabe live leSwatini vele singalisita kangakanani. So I think what ERS and the Trade Facilitation Committee is doing is really to ensure ukuthi even the agreements that we are signing as a country with COMESA, the agreements we are signing as a country with both SACU, those agreements are coming to fruition and asebende kahle. Uphinze ke Sifiso siphinze sambuta sathi please break it down for us ukuthi now uthi itolo nende ema resolutions, what other resolutions were there? I think ubese uyaphinze uyachaza ukuthi engabe lamanye ama resolutions noma ngila long term engabe wona hamba kanjani because there were medium term and long term resolutions sitawuva ukuthi uchaze wathini.
Okay, maybe before we get into that, Nelsiwe, another interesting development that is, mentioning as he's responding to your, very clever questions there. Inzaba yekuthi kusenjete 24 hours am I again? I think it's like, ngwenya iyakwenda lokho kunyalo kukhulunyiswa ukuthi nalavumisa afike kuleso sigaba leso ngabe kumcwanga kanani vele ukuthi si shifted to the 24-hour operation emahegen for I think looking at other countries that are developed vele that is what is happening.
This means if sese emahege sekasebenda 24 hours lavumisa itsgolela in South Africa, so nangabe sekusetshenzwa 24 hours, then it means business will flow. Ngeke ema-truck afike lapha eme, and then if ema-truck emile lapha, then it means business is stalled. Akude lokuhambako ebusuku. Kanti the Minister of Home Affairs, Honorable Princess Lindiwe, I think she made a plea to say, can we please open these borders? And I think His Majesty Ushito in his speech where we would say, let's look for more avenues where we can maybe do business. Sibuke ukuthi singavula njani letinye tindlela tekwenda ibhizinisi. So South Africa itolo nakunale meeting they promised ukuthi no, we are really going to do something about that.
It's quite interesting. I'm really excited to see that come into fruition. Nelsiwe, we do want to leverage, and fully exploit e-trade through operating for 24 hours. And as Nelly mentions, as long as truck amile lapha emahegeni kusho kuma business logo asilaleleke Brightwell Nkambule, the ERS General Commissioner, when he responded to Nelly's second question.
Then medium term we agreed that we would actually collocate, you must have heard of the concept of the one-stop border. So the idea is that incoming traffic should be processed on the Eswatini side, where you will have the South African counterparts, both immigrations and customs, sitting together with the Eswatini counterparts, both immigration and customs, so that there is just one stop. How many stops do we have currently? Many stops. You stop on the South African side, see immigrations and customs. You stop again on the Eswatini side, see immigration and customs. The idea is that we should just stop, commercial traffic should just stop once. On our side. Then for export, they will stop once on the, on the South African side. So that is medium to long term. We also have identified a number of opportunities for automation. In the very near future, we are likely to automate the the gate pass. That was a recommendation that let's automate the gate pass, to make it easier for the travelers, irrespective of whether commercial or non-commercial. Then also in the immediate term, very important, we'll be encouraging our commercial traffic or traders to use the pre-clearance facility, both on the South African side and the Eswatini side. What is pre-clearance? So pre-clearance is a process where the declarants would submit their declarations immediately after loading the trucks. They would submit, customs would process, and then invite them to approach the port. Now, as they approach the port, all the processes would have been done. The paperwork would have been done, so they will not stop. They will just pass through. That is if they are low risk. Because remember, we have a number of categories as well. We've got low risk, which is on the green lane. Then we've got the other lanes. The ones that are on the green lane are not supposed to stop at all. So you can imagine that if all those low risk consignments would use pre-clearance, there would be no blockade at all at the border.
Yeah, that was Brighton Kambule, the Eswatini Revenue Service General Commissioner. Nelson Okulumisin Zabaye pre-clearance. I think he's mentioning Zabaye would see nangabe utafika declaration kete nyalo sokona logo ungafiki na lekete no submit tonga tinto utafika nato. I think that should be digitally, I suppose. Utsina ufika so yakona kwedlula masinyane. Just elaborate on that development. Ngibona ngathi tawusita kakhulu botsinza Zabaye they want to reduce congestion. Again, I do see that happening.
In Zabaye pre-clearance, I think they introduced it some time ago. I think they are saying that Eswatini are not really using Lama technology-linked processes like from ERS. So they are saying now they are going to take maybe vigorous actions to ensure that Eswatini know about these technology-linked processes. So we are shokuthi le process lena ngekusho kwakhe uyachaza lokuthi ngeke nyalo kusadzinga ukuthi mhlambu ume egedeni kuyoclearisha, you can go online and do these things. Uthi ufika egedeni bese kuba malula lokuthi uvele wengce khona, which makes doing business with Eswatini easier.
Yeah, Nelly, you're a business journalist at the end of the day. I do want to ask you this question. Which industries should look into fully exploiting this development? I think agriculture sector, siyathi futhi nekuthi la eveni shukela nguyena sim exporter kakhulu. Yeah, so it's very important ukuthi these sectors tiqale nyalo tifundzise, even bonam board, they should start maybe training their farmers on these technology linked processes kwekuthi ungakhanzi ukuthi sebahleti bobo soma business because abatati kahle letimvo leti. Yes, ERS is introducing them, but let these businesses, let these entities take advantage of these opportunities letiniketwa nguye ERS so that the economy can grow, because ngicabanga ukuthi kufanele ukuthi wonke umuntu nyalo asala kubanjiswane as His Majesty ubuke ukuthi khule kakhulu umnotho. I think he made that clear in his speech. Nele utsinza ligama leli ngijabulisa kakhulu ligama lekubambisana uthi akubanjiswane. One of our government's biggest ambitions saqala nje 12th parliament yakangwane inzabe ukuthi imisebenzi leminengi salo iba ngema multi sectoral approach kusasenjetwa sibuka na development yasemahekeni. Obviously litiko letemigwaqo nalo lelibuke bo main road 3 nje which are trade routes kunabo Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Trade. Lekufuna ukuthi all these companies should work in symbiosis ekuthenini lo msebenzi lo ube ngilohamba kahle ngoba I do want to believe ukuthi we can sort the border issues abe kahle, but imigwaqo yethu funa ilimela atawuhamba phi lama truck ngabe athine mavi akho ekuthenini kubanjiswane kulamatiko kusaqala yona iParliament yeshumi nambili.
Hulumende wethu utamile, I think the Ministry of Finance last year naketfula i-budget indvuna yetemafa ichazile ukuthi 500 million emalangeni utawulungisa imigwaqo lapha eveni. His Majesty has said 400 kilometers wemigwaqo utawulungiswa. He talked about infrastructure, he talked about ICT. So all these sectors have to work together to ensure ukuthi ekugcineni the trade is made easier, wekuthi Eswatini is accessible to the outside world. I think kunabo cross-border road transport agency nabo badlala inzima lenkulu ekutheni banikete lawo ma-license kuleto tingapane letifuna trade lapha eveni nangaphandle kwelive babuke ukuthi babasita kanjani.
Interesting, Nuri. Thank you so much for coming into the program today. And maybe just in case it flew over someone's head, why you mentioned the Minister of ICT as well as Sakulmisa, the trading about e-commerce. We just had to, you know, simplify that for, you know, Lomunye Longa Gnagi. Look, thank you so much for joining us on the program. Stuff on the
Digital helps you make cross-border payments. Human gives you global specialists. Digital allows you to apply for a loan anytime, anywhere. Human connects you to credit experts. Digital puts you in control of your money, while Human connects you to wealth advisors. Digital allows you to freeze, unfreeze, cancel, and reorder your card. Human gives you that personal touch. Digital when you want it. Human when you need it. Get the complete private banking experience with Nedbank Private Clients.
All right, welcome back. You're still watching Business Watch, powered by Nedbank Eswatini. Last week on the show, we featured Mcebo Masugu, an insurance specialist at Nedbank who focused on property insurance. Today, we are joined by Zamangwane Dlamini, who's the head of branch networks at Nedbank Eswatini, and she's here to talk about their current account, its functionality, fees, charges, and etc. Very Sagumugala Zama, thank you for joining us on the show. Today we're talking about the current account. What is the current account and how does it work?
Good afternoon, Lou. Nyapila, I'm quite well, thank you. And thank you again for having us as the Nedbank team. So a current account basically is what we know can otherwise be known as a check account. It's a basic and everyday transactional account that is offered by banks for everyday use. In simple terms, so how it would work is that a client would be able to actually access their funds in terms of withdrawals and deposits, but I think in terms of the qualification criteria, it is accessible and available to all our customers or all types of customers, in the sense that it's available to students. We offer student current accounts. Most banks do as well within the industry. We also offer our current accounts, of which our current accounts are those who are salaried and working. And those obviously have their own attributes as well, which I think we can speak to here. But in terms of your listing or sale account is to just have low moholo, which is consistent over a 3-month period, of which so you would need to take to your bank. You would need to have your ID. And you would also need to have a proof of residence or what we call as confirmation in terms of the expectations of knowing lelo customer letfu. But again, just to go on in terms of how the current account would work is that, as I said, a customer is able to deposit money into their accounts as well as withdraw through different mediums at any point in time. This is ATM's availability, of which nglo machine or kokimali, speed points, uyaswipe, uyatenga, as well as e-commerce. Some people shop online. The current account is a feature that offers that. I mentioned the card because the card is an access mechanism, of which it's a debit card that a bank will issue you to access your funds. This, of course, Eswatini will always know that comes at a particular price, and probably sometimes what we want to get to appreciate is how much it would cost you to manage your current account. This includes what we call maintenance fees or monthly account fees, and these are just charges or the cost of owning an account in that regard. So how this would happen is that banks will sometimes offer discounted pricing, what we call bundled pricing, or waive some fees in terms of transactability, which means you may have some swipes that are free, or you may have some withdrawals that are actually free or discounted and thereafter charge you.
Also, I want us to talk about the process, after I've applied for the current account, and students are eligible to apply for the current account and adults as well. How long does it take? The process apply a current account, how long does it take to connect for the card line? And the accessibility, I think you can access your money via ATMs, can also access my money anyhow online with my banking app.
That's correct. So my student account or student current accounts, we do offer them. And the intention of that is to grow the culture of students familiarizing themselves with the financial system, as well as giving them the platform to start this financial journey even before they're out of tertiary. So the sort of documents that we would request or require is this either an acceptance letter or proof of some proof of registration with an institute of higher learning. That would be the criteria, including, of course, the ID, because we must know who you are. And like you are saying, we then have platforms. A current account, by default, gives you access to a lot of financial solutions, including the platforms from which you can transact. Like you're saying, from your mobile, from your tablet, our online banking, mobile banking, cell phone banking, apps and the like, which would be very ideal for students who are purchasing books, as an example, and just as well for professionals who are in the working environment. The period it takes is you would typically walk into a branch and we would be able to assist you within a one-day period. We are also able to provide you with a card on an immediate basis. So the cards that we offer are actually personalized debit cards that we offer. But because we have an ordering process, we would issue you with a temporary card in which you can transact completely and fully until the personalized card has arrived, which is within a 7-day period, give or take, yes.
All right, Zama, you did mention that students can open a current account, adults as well, 18 and above. So how long does it take for a person to open a current account? Is it days, hours, weeks?
Yeah, so I think with the progression of technology and trying to improve our client service and the centricity, the process of opening an account, a general current account, not limited to students, takes about an hour and a half at Nedbank. And the customer would be able to have an account number where they can start transacting instantaneously. They are able to make an instantaneous deposit into that account, a minimum fee, and they would get the interim, almost want to say temporary card, whilst they wait for the personalized debit order. Personalized debit card to be ordered and arrive. Yeah.
Okay. Just to make the customer understand, Zama, because not to give us the actual fees in charge, but just to give the customer an idea, perhaps the number of withdrawals, ATM, swipes when delay store, how do you charge it? And charge monthly fees.
Okay, thanks, Lou. I think e-pricing that banks would apply is typically premised on the account conduct or lama aspirations noma ngendlela lo maintain ngayo le account yakho. Uma umuntu lotawusebenzela futhi, you might want to take advantage, or you will be guided by financial experts as net bankers, who would guide you into a package that would be suitable for you. It's no different from a subscription of any kind in the world in which we're living in. You have a family of 5, you would subscribe for a package that fits for a family of 5, and if you are an individual, there's tailor pricing that is specific to how you would live if you are by yourself. The same is true with the pricing within banks. If you happen to be mundulo funak bandlisha, what we call bundle pricing, we offer the bundle pricing, which, to your point, comes with the other benefits where they are substantially discounted transactions. Either a number of free swipes, what we offer is 5 free swipes on the current account, and as an example, as well as ATM withdrawals, because you would be a frequent transactor. The accessibility of our online transactions in terms of executing your payments or paying bills or purchasing airtime is significantly reduced on the platform because you are doing it at your convenience.
Yeah, speaking of bills, you did talk about managing my I have full accessibility. I have full access on managing my current account. Ngiyakhona kubhadala ama bills, mhlambe ngiyakhona kusenda imali. What are the limits per day? Ngiyakhona yini ukwashintsha on my mobile app ukuthi my daily limit ngifuna ishintshe mhlambe from 20,000 ngiyabuyisa to 50,000. Do I have that accessibility?
Yeah, once again, because of the great benefit of actually having these platforms available with the current account specifically, is because we put back the power into your hands in terms of your responsibility in handling your account. So you are doing everything at your convenience. You are doing everything at your discretion as well, which includes lokba able lokushinja ema limits depending on your needs. You could be traveling to South Africa and you decide you want to increase your limits, or you could have seen a potential risk in this regard. You are also able to manage everything on our online platforms, reduce your limits, cancel your card, freeze your card if you're still looking for it and you've probably misplaced it. You may also be able to send yourself funds into our wallet from the platform. So the full management of your account vele ungayenda from all our platforms.
Okay.
Yes.
So again, I'm saying interesting lenye account from Netbank and I want to change from current to another account. Do I get instant help from the service center?
Yes, you get instant assistance. One would hope that you would keep the current account because the current account we almost want to say it's the foundational account. Okay. It really is. It does become a transact account, but of course we offer all types of products and accounts to help you save in terms of our savings types accounts, to also help you invest for long term in our fixed deposit types accounts. But I do believe that we'll get into the further detail of all these types of accounts specifically. You can save for your children as well in that regard. But nakona, the processes take more or less the same. It's almost instantaneously. It happens when you visit us at a branch. You can email us on our help desk email, helpdesk@netbank.co.za as well for assistance, and the account would be open for you within the 2 hours as well.
Okay. So before I let you go, are there any other additional perks, when you've opened the current account?
Okay, the additional perks are there. And I think what we are also trying to do is to get more customers to sort of come into the space where we are managing that financial journey holistically, including some nuanced offerings that are specific to how we have profiled Lou in terms of our CVP, what we call CVP offerings in financial terms, what will be moving on to rewards of a nature and further discounted pricing, accesses to premium servicing and services as well. So those would be the enticing things in terms of the transact. But of course, kukhona nalokunye lesahambisana nabo customer ethu la lokuhambiselana na the current account, which includes offering loans, instantaneous overdrafts. Mangabe sosembinjini, we can offer you an overdraft over a shortened period. We can offer you a personal account. So yaqala ufuna kwakha, we would offer you a home loan because sasibonile ukuthi i-current account yakho uyiconducta kanjani, and uyaqualifya. So ufuna kuthenga imoto, we want to be the ones who are actually helping you purchase this the stream car that you'd wish to get. So those would be the very
Additional
nice
perks.
perks.
All right, thank you so much, Zama. If you need more information, do visit their service centers, Lambabane, Manzini, actually countrywide, bayatfolakala udova kabanti ngayo i-current accounts. Let's take a break. Sabi yakho namanje.
Digital helps you make cross-border payments. Human gives you global specialists. Digital allows you to apply for a loan anytime, anywhere. Human connects you to credit experts. Digital puts you in control of your money, while Human connects you to wealth advisors. Digital allows you to freeze, unfreeze, cancel, and reorder your card. Human gives you that personal touch. Digital when you want it. Human when you need it. Get the complete private banking experience with Nedbank Private Clients.
Welcome back to Business Watch. We are getting to our fourth segment of the show, which is market analysis with the head of treasury at Nedbank Eswatini, Bongani Mabuza. A very good afternoon, Bongani. Thank you for joining us lamuhla in the afternoon. September kuti timakete dimekahle lomuhla, favoring Eswatini. Gwena singaqala nje, looking at our stock markets, kukuthi nasbuka nje ama currencies, analyzing the US dollar. Sibonile tolo ukuthi trader belling 18.90 cents. Namuhla tinombolo time kanjani. Sibonile nje the US dollar, the euro, and also the pound.
Thank you so much, Lulu. It's a pleasure to be here, and greetings to your viewers. The markets remain quite volatile. We, as you rightfully mentioned, the US dollar to the rand was trading at about 18.90 yesterday. This afternoon we are at 19.1660. So the Langeni has lost some ground against the dollar, and this is because of news that we received yesterday out of the US, where we got inflation numbers coming out of the US, which was stronger than everyone expected. And what that means is that it is changing what the market views in terms of interest rate expectations, not just in the US, but also globally. So as you say, the dollar, as I said, the dollar is at 19.1660 this afternoon. The pound is similar, is sort of flat against the Langeni at 24.034. The euro against the Langeni is at 20.5039, which is lost some ground this afternoon. But the story is the same, where the market is digesting the news and is expecting that interest rate expectations might change. So what the market is pricing in is that interest rate might not come down as fast as they thought they would.
Okay, so the US dollar was trading at 18.90 yesterday. Today it's 19. I suppose that's not good for the consumer. Is it not good?
Yeah, that's correct. I think it depends on what the consumer is involved in. If the consumer is an importer, is a net importer of goods, this information just means that goods are going to become more expensive to import. If you were spending 18 emalangeni 90 cents per dollar yesterday, and you are now spending 19 emalangeni 16 cents. It's a difference of 26 cents. per dollar. So if you're an importer, it's not good news. But if you're an exporter of goods, then you'll be laughing all the way to the bank as things stand.
Yeah, all right. I think I should move on to Emma Equities. Bongani, like spoken to nakona ukuthi engabe di perform kanjani this afternoon.
Thanks a lot. I think we are seeing a similar story where the news that is driving markets is really the inflation numbers coming out of the US, and equity markets responded also in line with that. Across the board, if you look at the S&P 500, which is the index that tracks the performance of American companies, or if you look at the FTSE 100, which tracks the performance of British companies, or the JSE All Share Index, the impact on them was generally negative, which is because of the market realizing that we might have higher rates for longer, which tends to be negative to equity markets. The exception being the FTSE 100, which this morning posted a slight gain, but after a decrease after the news broke out yesterday.
Okay, tell us what's happening in commodities. Looking at gold and oil.
Thanks. I'll just start with Brent crude. The price for Brent crude stood at $82.77 per barrel. This is an increase in the price of just about 0.25% since the start of the trading day today. And the price of gold was relatively flat, with a minor decrease of 0.05% since the start of trading today. And I think the story with gold is that we are seeing a stabilization in the price. Yesterday, the price of gold broke the $2,000 per ounce level for the first time in about 2 months. And there was fears in the markets that we might see a continued decrease in pricing. But what we've seen is that there seems to be stability in the price. We will be watching the markets to see if that will hold or that will change going forward.
Yeah, still on markets. I'm just thinking, Ban, last a few weeks ago, we're going to saw in South Africa, State of the National Address. What impact did it have on the market?
That's correct. So the story of I'll speak to the Langeni, or the Rand. Has been impacted by the two events in markets, the first being the State of the Nation address and the US CPI data, which came out yesterday. And what the market reaction to the State of the Nation address by the President of South Africa was that it lacked information, concrete information on a plan of action by government. And therefore we saw the Rand start to lose ground as a result. And this is a story that happened at the end of last week, at the beginning of this week. And the weakening of the Rand, or the Langeni, against the major currencies was only worsened by the news that we received yesterday. But I'd like to add that what should be interesting is that we're expecting the finance ministers in South Africa first, and then in Eswatini, to present their budget speeches. And that should highlight the plan of government from a fiscal policy perspective this year. And we should see what government exactly is going to be doing, what they're going to be spending on, what they're going to be doing in terms of taxes, which projects they're going to be embarking on, which should be helpful for markets to digest, to get a sense of where markets are going, or where the economy is going.
So speaking of, the budget speech, and also Natisa Mele budget speech, can we expect changes at the markets, especially in South Africa, Rand?
Thanks. I think that's an excellent question. We should expect generally a reaction to markets, in markets of the change of the budget speech. So depending on whether the government adopts a expansionary or contractionary fiscal policy, we will see how the markets react to that. But I think the interesting thing is that it is an election year in South Africa. It is also an election year in the US and in more than 50% of the world's countries. So it will be very interesting to monitor how the finance ministers and the governments of those countries use fiscal policy during the year 2024 and going forward.
Okay, one last question before I let you go. On the Russia and Ukraine war, sibonile ukuthi kube inflation leningi. Kuva nje ukuthi does it still affect our markets? Nyalo nje letikati.
Thank you, Lulu. I think it still does. And this is not made any better by the conflict that we're currently seeing between Israel and Hamas. And the reason this is causing inflation is because it causes supply chain constraints. So it is difficult to move goods between countries, especially with the Russia-Ukraine war, where a lot of the grain and the fertilizer that goes into the world comes out of those areas. And as a result, we are not able to, it affects agricultural markets, it affects food markets and food prices, and it just trickles down. With any conflict in the Middle East, would rightfully affect the movement of commodities like oil as a result.
Okay, thank you so much, Bongani.
Thank
I
you.
hope to have you again on the show next week. And there you have it for market analysis with Bongani Mabuza, who's the head of treasury at Nedbank Eswatini. Ungayenzawa siyabuya khona manje.
Digital helps you make cross-border payments. Human gives you global specialists. Digital allows you to apply for a loan anytime, anywhere. Human connects you to credit experts. Digital puts you in control of your money, while Human connects you to wealth advisors. Digital allows you to freeze, unfreeze, cancel, and reorder your card. Human gives you that personal touch. Digital when you want it. Human when you need it. Get the complete private banking experience with Nedbank Private Clients.
Residents of Simunye and surrounding areas are notified that intense TV license door-to-door inspections are being conducted in the region. The exercise starts on the 19th to the 28th of February 2024. Stay alert. Our TV license inspectors will be wearing Eswatini TV gear and will have tags that confirm their identity. Don't be scammed. Our inspectors do not ask for cash payments. Pay your TV license only at specified pay points or call us on 34050163 or 78024545 for more information. Alternatively, you can send a WhatsApp message to 76222000 and we'll chat with you. Pay your TV license today, enhance the industry.
Business Watch powered by. We just want to recap shortly about everything that we've had on the show. I think, Lulu, just, to look back at our interview with Nelsie, where what I liked about our program today is that everything that we discussed, you will remember, everything that we've discussed, Naneli, was, premised on a reactionary speech from the throne, because obviously the whole country is still reacting to that. And excitedly so, because it is also feeding into, the market analysis that, Bongani just gave us at Senini. It's a good reaction, and there's quite an excitement around, some of the so it's going to be interesting as I think you've just alluded to in the budget speech. That's the next development. Trader market analysis and hopefully, the Russia-Ukraine war which was a great question again that you asked. We hope that's going to come to an end. In fact, all wars around the world, because it is really frustrating all of us. Like inflation, there's go bonje.
It will end as fair. So it's 2 minutes before 3 o'clock. Spendenje sakhuluma nangayo indzaba ye-current account lebe bakhuluma ngayo baka-Nedbank bekhuluma kabanti nguZamangwane Dlamini, who's the head of branch networks ka-Nedbank. Bachazela ngayo ukuthi who is eligible to open this account. Uvetele ukuthi students can open this account, adults 18 and above can open this account, and kuthatha nje ama-hour lambalwa ukuthi na uyivulile bese uthola likhadi lakho. But she did say ukuthi if you have any more questions, do visit their service centers bagcwele live lonke countrywide.
Yeah, and everybody's going to be powered by Nedbank, not just our program. We've come to the end of our show today. It's the Day of Love.
14th February. Let's hope you did receive those flowers and chocolates, Ferrero Rochers, Kit Kats, Nandani. Hopefully we see you tomorrow at 2 p.m.
Yeah, of course. Goodbye.
Make better money choices. Choose a bank that takes your money seriously. Business Watch was brought to you by Nedbank.